we're going to be talking about subject-verb agreement. And what it is that whatever the pronoun or the noun is, the verb has to be conjugated correctly with that noun or pronoun. So in this worksheet or note, you're going to see the subject and it's going to be in yellow and it's going to be bold. And you're going to see the verb and it's going to be green and underlined. So here are our rules. If the subject is singular, then the verb must be singular too. She writes every day. She is singular. Writes is also singular. Remember, in third person singular for simple present, we add an S. That's the general rule. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural too. So whatever the noun or the pronoun is, if it's plural, then the verb has to be in plural. In this case, they write every day. Even though they is also third person, it's not singular, so we don't add an S. They write every day. So sometimes it's a little bit more complicated than that, but we're not going to talk about that today. When the subject of the sentence is composed of two or more nouns or pronouns connected by and, we use plural forms or plural verbs. So here's the thing. If you have John and Jamie, we use are. We don't use is, even though John is singular and Jamie is singular. Because they are together, we use the plural form of the verb. So for example, the doctoral students and the committee members, so two people or two groups of people, the doctoral student and the committee members, write every day. The percentage of employees who call in sick and the number of employees who left their jobs within 2 years are reflexive of the level of job satisfaction. So again, here we have two things. The percentage of employees who call in sick, that's one. And the second one is the number of employees who left their jobs within 2 years. Okay, so both of these are, or all of these are the subject. So it doesn't have to be just one name, like we said, John and Jamie. When there is one subject and more than one verb, the verbs throughout the sentence must agree with the subject. So sometimes you have John is dancing and singing. Okay, so two verbs, dancing and singing. Both of them have to agree with the subject. For example, interviews are one way to collect data and allow researchers to gain an in-depth understanding of participants. We see here that there are two verbs that belong to one subject. Interviews are one way to collect data. That's what interviews are doing. Interviews allow researchers to gain more in-depth understanding or whatever. An assumption is something that is generally accepted as truth and is an important consideration when conducting a doctoral study, right? So we see one verb and then another verb here. Both of them have to agree with the subject. When a phrase comes in between the subject and the verb, remember that the verb still agrees with the subject, not the noun or the pronoun in the phrase following the sentence. So it still has to connect with the subject. You always have to find the subject in the sentence and make sure that that verb connects with that subject. For example, the student, as well as the committee members, is excited. So the subject of the sentence is the student. This is just an additional information. The student is excited. That's what we want to say. As the student, as well as the committee members, is excited. Another one, the student with all the master degrees is very motivated. The student with all the master's degrees, this is just a phrase that's just giving us more information about the student. So we don't conjugate it to the master's degrees. We talk about the students. Another example, strategies that the teacher uses to encourage classroom participation include using small groups and clarifying expectation. Strategies and include are connected, right? So this is just giving us more information about strategies. The focus of the interview was 9 proposedly selected participants. The focus was, okay? This is just more interview on what the focus is on. All right. When two or more singular nouns or pronouns are connected by or nor, we use the singular verb. So if there's an or, like John or Jamie are going to the movies, whatever. The chairperson or the CEO approves the proposal before proceeding. Why? Because we are talking about one or the other. So the chairperson is one person and he approves, and the CEO is one person and he approves. Okay? So this is just giving a choice. One or one. It's not together. They're not two of them. There's just one individual one. So we have to use singular. Nor, the same thing. Nor is negative of or. The chairman nor the CEO approves the proposal. Okay? So, when a compound subject contains both a singular and plural noun or pronoun joined by or nor, the verb should agree with the part of the subject that is closest to the verb. Okay? So, if there's a or nor, and it's not just one person, then it's not two singular nouns, then the verb would agree with the word that's closest to the verb. So for example, excuse me, the student or the committee members write every day. Since committee members is a plural, then write has to be conjugated correctly or agree with members. The committee members or the student writes every day. The student is singular, so writes has to be conjugated in singular. Number 8, the word and phrase each one, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, nobody, somebody, someone, and no one are singular and require a singular verb. Okay? So if you use any of these words or nouns or phrases, whatever, then it has to be singular. Each of the participants was willing to be on record. Neither alternative hypothesis was accepted. I will offer a $5 gift card to everybody who participates in the study. Even though everybody includes everyone, but it's just one unit, okay? There's just one unit there. No one was available to meet with me at the preferred time. Right? Number 9, non-count nouns take singular verbs. Non-count nouns. These are the ones we can't count, like water, like education, like diabetes, I guess. The information, the research, okay? Education is the key to success. Diabetes affects many people around the world. The information obtained from the business owner was relevant to include in the study. The research is found on the topic was limited. So again, these are non-count nouns. We can't count them. We can't say educations. We can't say diabetes or informations, right? We cannot count them. Some countable nouns in English, such as earrings, goods, odds, surroundings, proceeds, content, and valuables, only have a plural form and take a plural verb. So we really don't say the earring. We generally say the earrings. Okay? They generally come in pair. So we tend to give them a plural noun because earrings are two of them, right? Or the proceeds go from the sales go to the support of the homeless population. It's not just one proceed, right? You can't just have one proceed. You usually have proceeds. I mean, you can count them. You can count the proceeds, but generally speaking, they don't come alone. Like the earrings, there's usually not just one earring. There's usually two. And locally produced goods have the advantage of shorter supply chain. All right, and then we have number 11. In the sentence beginning with there is or there are, the subject follows the verb. Since there is not the subject, the verb agrees with what follows the verb. There is little administrative support. So do you guys get this? So when there is or there are, the subject is not there. The subject is whatever comes after the verb. So you have to make sure that the subject-verb agreement aligns with what comes after the verb. There is little administrative support. Administrative support is singular, so we use there is. There are many factors. Factors is plural, affecting teacher retention. Then are is plural. And lastly, we have collective nouns are words that imply more than one person but are considered singular and take singular forms. Some examples are group, team, committee, family, and class. Even though, team is a lot of people, it will still take a singular verb or group, right? The group meets every day. Meets, because we are looking at group as one unit. It's just one unit of measurement, okay? The committee agrees on the quality of the writing.